Hello and welcome to Retech, and today we're going to look at this game again, but from a different point of view. This is going to be a game from the point of view of a person it's really aimed at, and that was the child of the 80s basically, or somebody around about the same age as a lot of us were in the 1980s. And this is from Marcus. He's got this 64 here, which is not an original Commodore 64. It's a retros game, the 64, and he's had it for about probably getting on for 2 years now, and in that time he's expanded it, added more software, more games, etc. onto it, and kind of made it his own system. In front of it we have a parts bin special Commodore 64, and it was one I built literally out of parts. It's got a different SID chip in it and so on. It's got an emulated hard drive on the back, which actually plugs into the serial port as normal, and you use it as a standard hard drive. And you've also got a fast load cartridge on the back of it as well. And it's kind of a kick around machine. It's got nice coloured keyboard, which goes well with the black case, which is probably the reason I did it, but I can't remember now, it's been a while. But it was just a parts bin special. Rather than throw parts away, it was made into a machine that could be used every day, and it has got a lot of use, and it does get used quite a bit. We're going to just do a review of this game from the point of view from a 8-bit child, basically, someone who was of the same age when these 8-bit revolutions were kind of in the forefront of technology. Without kind of further ado, let's take a look and let's see what Marcus's thoughts are on this fairly new game for the Commodore 64, a 20th century micro with a 21st century game. So let's take a look.
So I like my Commodore 64, and my favourite games on it is the old Super Mario, because it's just such a fun game and it's very entertaining to me. The reason I like my Commodore is it's because it's different to my other ones, and I put so many new games on it, over 200, and it is so fun to use. My favourite games on the Commodore is the Super Mario and Monty. I like Super Mario because it's different, but I also like it because I like all the other Mario games, and I can see how they've progressed from that Super Mario to the new Super Mario 3D World, and they're all really fun and really cool to have. And my favourite classic game for the Commodore is Monty. I really like the music of it because it just gives you that vibe that you think it's gonna be a good game, and it really is a good game, and I really like it. I've had my Commodore for nearly 2 years now, and I love all the games on it. So I think the two Commodores, the new one and the old one, I think that they are quite the same because they run the same games. So I think that the C64 now that you can buy in stores and the C64 a long time ago is the exact same, just the casing's a bit different. But I like the reliable of a modern machine more. So I'm going to be reviewing a game called StrikeBack, and I'm going to tell you how I think of it and if it's a good game or not to play. To start off, I already think the music's like amazing on this game. I already see that it's a really good game, and it's about a war, because you got all like attack aeroplanes and tanks and it looks like jet skis, but they're not. Oh. Yeah. So I think it's quite a hard game to play because you have to dodge all the bullets, and it's just really hard to. It's easy to control, but it's quite smooth. It's really smooth. The graphics are really good, I think, because you have all these like non-steps. They're not like they're all stepping, but they're like, to me, they're like really good. I think the music's absolutely amazing because it just gives you the vibe that it's just gonna be a really good game, and it's just got that like battlefield mode, like battlefield feeling, that it's just gonna be like a battling game instead of like a racing game or something like that. So instantly when you hear that, when you start up the game, you hear, oh, and you think, oh, this is gonna be a battling game, I'm guessing. And this game's all about a war, like a war, which I really like because, well, I kind of like war games, like fighting games, so in my opinion this game's really good, but to other people it could be like really bad because they don't like wars and stuff. Yeah, but I think the whole war's like really stupid because why are people fighting over like tiny things? So I think this game's about a war, but I don't really like wars because they're all just stupid. I think this game's very entertaining because I'm playing this a lot and still having a lot of fun. It could potentially be one of my favourite games, and it could be for other people if they like it. The games are good, but the wars are like stupid though. Like, I don't get it, really. So I had a very similar game called Scramble, just like StrikeBack, and it's also about a war, and it's also about flying a plane in a war. So let's see how it goes. So this is on my 64. And I think the other StrikeBack is better, got better graphics because you can't really see the step as much as this game. But I think the music is better on it too because I think that it's just got that like heart racing beat to it. They are similar type games, but they've got different programmings in each one. And compared to the 1983, the modern programmers are much more better than the 64. I think StrikeBack's a really good game because number one, it's very entertaining, and you can always play it on the Commodore 64 if you've got it. And the second way is that they're both the same, just that the other one's got better. StrikeBack's got better graphics. Thank you for listening to my review. And I hope to see you next time.
Okay, so there you have Marcus's review of StrikeBack, and it's kind of along the lines of what I said really. It was a really good game. It's very nice to play. It's good fun. It's a bit more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Not in a kind of detrimental way, but I kind of thought it was going to be more along the lines of a classic scramble game, but back to back. You know, StrikeBack is much better. But, you know, as Marcus said, you've had 30 odd years worth of honing programming skills. So, you know, that you can tell in the kind of style of programming and how much effort goes into it on these old machines today. Marcus is also kind of still very much enamored with these Commodore 64, the retro games 64, because for him it's much easier to use one of these rather than having to keep on repairing one of these when all you want to do is have some fun with it, play some games, do a little bit of programming, learn about them a bit more, and have a less of a frightened experience whether or not it's going to break down on you or not. So he's still very much into his classic machines and all of these vintage games and programming. So that's cool. 2 years on, that's really good. So I'm guessing he's going to be in for a long time. Now that was Marcus's review of StrikeBack, and it wasn't that much different to the review I gave it on the last episode, but he said a few things that only a child would do, only somebody who doesn't have all the political baggage wrapped around kind of the offering of the game or what's happening in the media and what's happening in the world. And he said the following:
the games are good, but the wars are stupid though. I don't get it, really.
And I kind of thought that was very, very profound, because he's right. He is completely and utterly right. Not only is he right about the game, he's right about the sentiments behind what's happening now in the world. And also, maybe, as I said before in my previous video, maybe we shouldn't be politicizing things, because it was a media that Marcus picked up on kind of the theme for StrikeBack, which was running on this machine a little while ago, and it was apparent that children aren't daft. They do know what's going on. They get involved with social media, they get involved with the TV, they get involved with their friends and their talks at school, etc. So I think really, if you're going to push a game, a game which is predominantly going to be picked up by children because of the type of game it is, maybe leave the politics out of it. That's kind of my thoughts. My other thought is that it's well intentioned, but children really do kind of need to be left out of the vagaries of politics. At the end of the day, they need a childhood like a lot of us had, didn't we, when we were their age? So anyway, that was Marcus's take. He, as always, he did a very good job of it. He kind of let us know what the game was like, let us know what he thought of it. And, same thoughts at the end of the day. The game is definitely good. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you would like to subscribe, and we'll do more on retro and retro related machines in the future. And I hope you enjoyed Marcus's take on the game StrikeBack.